Hey fam, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be filming a goal setting video. Q1 is almost over. I think we're in our final week of Q1, and then it'll be April before you know it. So I thought it'd be fun to kind of take you through how I set up my planner for a new quarter. I love getting a new planner every quarter. I get that shiny new planner feeling. I get to start fresh again. And it's just a great way to like get remotivated in what you're doing. Sometimes, you know, it stings a little because you didn't get as much done as you wanted to get done, but you know what? That's okay. It's also, you know, just a tool to reflect and come back to what you're doing. So if you're feeling a little nervous, it's okay. I'm feeling a little nervous too. I also just put lotion on my hands and then I touched everything, so there's little lotion marks all over the covers of these planners. It's fine. So I used Storm for Q1 and I'm using Dahlia for Q2. It's just such a pretty corally pink color and I fell in love with it. It's actually a repeat. I think we did the same color last year. I can't remember if it was for Q2 or Q3. I think it was for Q2 and I didn't use it. I picked something else. I don't know why. And so I missed out. So I was really excited when the community wanted this color back. It's like, yeah, now's my chance. So with that being said, I have gone through and placed in some like larger back page size stickers already just to kind of figure out how much I needed of certain things. And you know, I was just excited to get stickering, and we did a Zoom call, and so I stickered during a Zoom call because multitasking. So we're gonna flip right over to the front cover. The first sticker I've placed is this yearly goals dashboard, I guess is the correct word. This is a Patreon exclusive, so unfortunately if you're part of the Amplify Patreon you can get it. If you're not, you can't get this one, sorry. But I really love how it is usually for the year, so these were like quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4, and I just whited those out, and I'm gonna do April, May, June, and then like maybe this fourth one will just be a July or a Q3 or something like that. I'm also going to warn you right now, I'm gonna get all my dates mixed up. I'm gonna say Q2 when I mean Q3. I'm gonna say Q3 when I mean Q2. I'm gonna say 2023. No one told me when you start a planner company that you're never gonna know what year or month or quarter it is. So, because we're designing things for 2023, we launched our Q3 planners and I don't know what world we're living in. So I'm gonna apologize right now. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna say Q3 when I mean Q2. That's just how it is. I don't know what day it is anymore. They're all merged together. I barely know it's 2022 at this point in time. So with that being said, we have, yes, the goals dashboard. I also printed out this like monthly goals dashboard, which is another Patreon exclusive as well. And once I do my monthly situation here, I'm gonna just tape this in and have a little Dutch door and have my monthly goals just like at a glance in my monthly layout. So that's kind of why it's just loosey-goosey floating around. And then for my back pages, I did a spring cleaning checklist because spring cleaning time. I did a Kanban board, which I was feeling very ambitious about when I placed it in here, and now I'm not too sure how I feel about it. I like was flipping through my planner before filming, like, okay, what are we working with, you know? And I saw this and I was like, past Chelsea was feeling something when she placed this in, which current Chelsea does not feel, but that's okay. It's there. It might be really handy to have. We actually, and this is me rambling, I can put another sticker over it. If I don't end up using it, I can ignore it. It's fine. We actually just did come out with a project planner digital download for the Patreon as well. This is for Amplify Planner's Patreon, and that might be a good spot for there. And then from there, I put in these budgeting things. I still have been not using these in my Q1 planner. Q2 is gonna be new. We're starting fresh. I was looking for these. Just some stickers. It's fine. Some sticky samosa stickers. I was like, where did those go? Found them. Yep. They're in my planner, of course. So yeah, that is one of my goals, again, to continue into Q2 is to get budgeting make time for it. That is going to be kind of the theme for Q2, is making time for things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of copy my goals into my goals, because I did plan this for the year. Some things might change, some things might stay the same, but we won't know till we get started, and that's the scariest part. So we're gonna put in our little pencil guard, and we are going to ponder these Q2 goals. Okay, so I've gone ahead and filled out my goals, copied most of it from the Q1 goals, stuck with the same word, harmony, that it was my word of the year for Q1/2022, and I really do like it. It means a state of consistency and a peaceful coexistence, which one of my big things is just trying to create habits that I complete every single day. So a state of consistency and a peaceful coexistence, because if I complete those said habits, I should be less stressed out about things and be more in control of what's going on day to day. So I'm sticking with that word. I went ahead and changed these boxes to April, May, June, and Q3. So April, we have my birthday. May, we are potentially launching an academic yearly planner. We were initially planning to launch that in June, but we're hoping maybe we'll launch it a little bit early, because it does start in July, and launching a planner a month before it starts, I know for you early planner people, is a little stressful. So we're hoping to launch that in May. I also need to start designing the 2023 pocket calendars, so that's a fun thing to keep in mind as well. And then in June, we have the Q4 and pocket launch. We have our anniversary. I can't believe that. And then we also have our first camping trip. So just keeping in mind, okay, we need to make sure we have all of our supplies and things like that, and make sure, you know, that Minnie, our little camper van, is running, you know, give her an oil change, tune up, whatever, and just make sure we are prepared for that camping trip. And then Q3 is the 2023 launch in September, is usually when it is. So September is in Q3, and so just keep that in mind. It's always big. It always fries my brain a little bit. And so maybe there's some steps I could take to make that not so stressful on me. I did continue with the same sort of goals for Q1 as I did for Q2, which is a consistent social media growth. One thing that I've kind of grown from Q1 into Q2, and I'm sure this is going to be repetitive as we go through all of this goal setting, is that social media isn't just Instagram and Facebook, it's other platforms like YouTube as well. So what can I do to help grow those other platforms? Because not every single one of my followers or customers, or you, for example, since you're watching this, uses Facebook and Instagram. So just keeping that in mind. I do want to continue growing my YouTube channel. So what things can I do for said YouTube channel? And I also want to get into TikTok. So that's kind of been in the back of my mind, but I'm like, you know what, Q2, let's do this. Amplify Planner sticker designs. I think I've been killing it with that for Q1. One thing I do kind of struggle with, and it's just, you know, I get so excited designing new stickers, and I design it and I'm like, okay, cool, here you go, but I don't finish designing it for other layouts or other options. A great example is the shadow boxes that I came out with. Love these guys, designed them for the vertical weekly layout, and that's it. And I'm like, okay, but you know, the horizontal people might like it, and you could also design it for the daily layout. So just kind of following through with some of my designs, I'm just like, yeah, and that's, I mean, it's one of my flaws just as a designer, and I do it with all of my designs. It's not necessarily just one. I mean, with kits, I'm like, yeah, okay, I have the monthly kit designed, cool. And I'm like, okay, but now you need to design it for like this other planner, and you need to design the weekly, and you need to do this. And I'm just like, but no. It's just fun to do the first initial part, and it's doing the rest of it that I'm like, ugh. So yes, so I did add that, all the layout options, and I also want to design some new freebies, which I think I've hinted at in some past videos as well, but I want to get that all finished up before my birthday, which is very soon. So my third goal is refreshing our home, and Q3 is a great opportunity to focus on some of our big house refresh goals. It's genuinely a little bit slower in Q3 business-wise, so it'd be kind of nice to not have to be working so hard, especially on the weekends. I have been tending to work a little bit more on the weekends. It's fine. Just to focus on some of our home projects. And of course, you know, Q2 leads to spring and summer, so spending more time outside and making sure our backyard and our front yard and our outside spaces are amazing. Sustainable morning routine. I've been very hit or miss with this for Q1, and so Q2 I'm gonna keep on trying, and so we're gonna have a sustainable morning routine. One goal I added was creating like a sort of business routine in a sense, where I take some time either like after lunch or even when I first sit down for work to do some things that are more business related, and it's like one of those things that if I make it a habit, it'll really help me in the long run. Some things are like learning something new, doing social media engagement, design time. I also wrote down creep, because like creeping on what other accounts are doing and getting, you know, inspiration. It's inspiration, but I'm calling it creeping because that's just the word that came into my mind when I wrote it down. I was like, I'm creeping. Give me some time to creep and see what everyone else is doing out there to see if I need to do that too. Creeping. Sustainable night routine. I wrote this down and I question, like, what does that necessarily mean to me? And so picking up the house, morning prep, and doing something that's maybe refreshing. I do tend to like, okay, we'll sit down and we'll watch an episode of a show or whatever. And I'm like, is that actually refreshing me? Like, is that gonna gear me up for the next day and make me feel happy and refreshed? So I wrote down me time. I don't know what that means right now, but we'll figure that out. Create a healthy lifestyle. I've been doing pretty good with that as well. Exercise hasn't been the best, but having a healthy diet has been great. Another wonderful thing about Q2 is it gets warmer out, so you can go outside, and I'm super excited to like go for walks and do things like that. Spring is my time, and I just love doing refresh goals in spring because it's just so much more motivating than doing it in the middle of winter after the chaos of like the holidays, and it's just a busy time of year, and I'm just bleh, and then you're like, do all these goal setting, and I'm like, ah. So doing it in Q2 just really, I love so much more than doing it in Q1. Making budgeting a priority. I'm trying to add that into my routine, whether that's in my morning routine or part of my business routine or something, but making it a priority. Setting a schedule and sticking to it. I feel like I've done pretty good with that for Q1. I definitely want to be a little bit more strict, perhaps, but just I think half of it is creating routines for some of these things and then communicating my schedule to people that should probably know what my schedule is so they leave me alone. You know, just thoughts. And then I just wrote down productivity hacks because I'm always just trying to find other ways to like be more productive. And so limiting distractions. I do have a habits app that I should probably refresh and, you know, create as a priority again, and then using the Pomodoro timer technique where you like work for an hour and then get like a 10-minute break and things like that. Maybe that will help me. I want to say I'm pretty good about limiting my phone distractions, but that doesn't necessarily mean I'm being productive even though I'm not on my phone, you know? Like, I can still be just off in la la land, like doing other things. So trying to focus, yeah. The phone I don't think is the biggest issue right now, but like, okay, if I'm working for an hour and then I have a 10-minute break, what can I do for 10 minutes that's like actually a brain break, you know? Okay, so let's go ahead and kind of dive into this guy. So I feel like a lot of the things that I said previously are going to be reflected into this, but I'm just going to go ahead and fill out this 3 months goals section. And then I'm like, do I want to do it colorful? And I'll flip to my Q1 one as well. I didn't do my Q1 colorful, so that makes me feel better. Sometimes I feel pressured that I need to make things colorful, and it's like, it's fine. It can just be in pen. Are you ever going to actually like show this to anyone? I'm showing it to you guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and kind of, this is the scariest part of the whole thing, and it's not scary at all, but I always am like, oh my gosh, it's scary, but it's not. diving in. Okay, so I've gone ahead and filled out the 3-month goals and the goal breakdown. I did do some growth from Q1 to Q2, but there is some areas that I still want to work on. Some of them include just having a better relationship with some of my friends. You know, we'll talk and text and things like that, but actually physically seeing them is a rare occurrence, so that's something I want to work on. Work on some spring cleaning things. Personal development was kind of in the middle, just creating those morning and evening routines, as well as like just reading more like self-development or growth books or things like that. Like I'm still finishing up the Atomic Habits, which I initially wanted to read in 1 month, and it's definitely taken me a little bit longer, and I'm so close to finishing it. And it is a really good book, but just taking the time to read that. You know, making my budget a priority, and I also want to try some new hobbies, which I thought would be fun. So I kind of took the stuff from this 3-month goals and added it to the goal breakdown. There's definitely some things that are like big ticket items that have to happen no matter what. You know, it isn't necessarily a part of the breakdown, but it's like, hey, this has got to happen. So first things first is Amplify 2023 designs. We have our Q4 pocket launch in June. I was like, I need to look at that. But when we have to have all of the designs finalized and send them to the print house, I'm sending them in April. So I need to make sure all of that is good to go. And that also includes picking cover colors, because the community picks the cover colors, not us. So that's the goal 1, and then also designing the 2023 yearly planners, because those are going to launch in September, and I have to get those designed extra early because they do take a little bit longer. And I also want to break up designing the 2023 quarterly planner so it isn't so overwhelming when that has to happen, because it's just a lot. So I was like, if I can get Q1 and Q2 designed this quarter so we can have that reviewed, designing Q3 and Q4, gosh, it's such a struggle. Won't be so bad if I design those in Q3. I hope I got all of that right. Next goal is my birthday sale. I do want to throw a sale for Chelsea Brown Designs for my birthday, so just making sure I have the sale graphics. I want to design new freebies, and I also want to do scratcher tickets. I think that'd be fun. I know that's kind of been a common thing for some sticker shops where they do little scratcher tickets, and I was just like, I want to do scratcher tickets this time. So just, I'm always trying to mix it up, and sometimes maybe that's, I don't need to, it's unnecessary, but I'm always trying to do new things and like one up myself from the year before, and then I get to, you know, the next year and I'm like, how am I going to make this better? Like, it's already been so amazing. So here we are. Goal 3, refresh our home. That was kind of a big relevant theme when I was filling out my yearly goals, and then as well as the 3-month goal breakdown. So refreshing our backyard, updating our patio furniture and planting our garden, refreshing our front yard, maybe painting the front door. That's kind of been on my bucket list for this house for a while. We have a really cool, like, original 70s door, but it just needs a refresh. It needs new paint. And so I'm like, maybe we'll get to that. Maybe that'll be something we can do. And then working on our front yard, and then repainting upstairs. Goal 4, I just kind of made a routines goal with an exclamation point. Creating a morning and evening routine, a business routine, and then a me time routine. I want to make sure that I do take time to focus on things that refresh me, if that's new hobbies or, you know, taking a bath, spending time with Cedar, things like that, like making sure I take the time throughout the week to do those things that refresh me. And I really do want to try some new hobbies. I got some paint by numbers off of Etsy, and I think that's going to be a fun new hobby to try out. So I just wanted to make sure I wrote that down. Take care of yourself too, guys. You know, I know we all work really hard, and you need to make sure that you're mentally happy and healthy to accomplish all these things. So do that. Okay, let's get into these April things. I'm not gonna do, actually I might save this I feel like this was pretty hefty of a video, and I do want to film a separate video filling out my April monthly layout, so maybe I'll save my April monthly goals for that area as well, because I do feel like this was a pretty hefty little video just going through my Q2 goals. So I hope this kind of helps inspire you to tackle your Q2 goals. I know that this page can be a little overwhelming sometimes, but I promise once you start writing things down, it isn't so bad, and you can just use pen. You don't have to use color. I give you permission. It doesn't have to be Instagram worthy, okay? It doesn't. Just use pen, write it down. You're the only one that's gonna look at it unless you film it on a YouTube video and share it with the world like me. So, no pressure. And I just hope this helps inspire you to fill out your goals, because you're 70% more likely to accomplish your goals if you write them down. Isn't that the statistic? Is it 70%? Hey, I wrote them down, so. And we can, wrap up Q1 and move on to Q2. Can you believe it? Oh, 2022 is going by so fast already. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what your goals are for Q2 in the comments so we can cheer each other on. Yeah, house goals. Am I right? And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. It really does help my channel grow. And I will see you guys next time for an April monthly plan with me. And we'll go over my April goals. Goals on goals on goals. Yeah. See you next time. Bye.